Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. First things first, if you haven't already, make sure you've clicked the subscribe button like that over there. Okay, now let's get right to it. It says k is an integer such that 1 over 2 to the power of 1 minus k is less than 1 over 8. Which is greater, k or minus 2? And you've got options A, B, C, or D, which says k is greater, minus 2 is greater, k and minus 2 are equal, or the last one, this cannot be determined from the information given. So first things first, I'm going to rewrite the inequality here. So I have 1 over 2 to the 1 minus k. This is less than 1 over 8. Yeah? So what I want to do is I want to solve the inequality to get k on its own, right? Solve the inequality in terms of k to see what that shows us, right? Okay. So let's get to it, right? So we can see first things first, we have an inequality with fractions and we're trying to solve for the variable k, right? What I want to do is I want to get rid of those fractions, right? So what you should do here is take both sides to the minus 1, right? Take the reciprocal, yeah? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bracket here, put a minus 1 here, put a minus 1 here. And now remember, when you take the reciprocal of a fraction, it just means the fraction flips over, isn't it, right? So therefore, this will then become 2 to the 1 minus k over 1, right? And then on the right hand side, I'm going to have 8 over 1. And also a very key thing, when you take the reciprocal of an inequality, the inequality sign switches, right? So instead of it being less than, it's going to be greater than, right? So let me just clean that up. So I'm going to have 2 to the power of 1 minus k is greater than 8. Just a quick way to see why. For example, if I have 4, the inequality 4 is less than 5, right? We can clearly see that 4 is smaller than 5. However, if I take the reciprocal and flip these over, I'm going to have 1/4 is less than 1 over 5, right? Clearly, this is not true. Clearly, 1/5 is a smaller number than 1/4. Why? Because 5 is bigger than 4. So if I'm dividing by 5, right, I'm going to get a smaller number than dividing by 4. So essentially, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the number, right? So therefore, the sign has to flip. Okay, now back to the question, yeah? Okay, so we're here now. So if I'm going to write, we have 2 to the power of 1 minus k is greater than 8, yeah? Okay, well, we can clearly see that, well, 8 can also be written as 2 to the power of something else, isn't it, right? Which will help us. So I'm going to be writing this. So I have 2 to the power of 1 minus k, right? And this is greater than 2 to the power of 3, isn't it? 8 is the same as 2 cubed, yeah? And then what are we saying? We're saying that 2 to the power of something is greater than 2 to the power of something else, right? Well, that means that this power here, if it's bigger than this one, that means, well, this power has to be bigger than 3, isn't it? So therefore, we can clearly say that 1 minus k is greater than 3, right? And then now, let's make k the subject of this inequality. So if I move the 1 to the other side, I'm going to have minus k, right, is greater than 2. And if I times both sides by minus 1, I'm going to have k, right, and then minus 2 on this side. And then remember, when you times an inequality by minus 1, the sign flips. So therefore, we can see for sure that k is smaller than minus 2, right? So if k is smaller than minus 2 and the question asks us which is greater, it suffices to say that option B is greater, right? Minus 2 is greater. And you're finished.